Marc Rayfield.
Wow, with that introduction, I feel like I should be accepting an award myself. First of all, good evening, everyone. I have to comment on the Phillies yarmulke that you're wearing, and I was wondering if I might have that yarmulke. Wish them some good luck with that. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thanks for attending tonight's tribute to Dom Giordano. When we made the decision to move Dom's daily radio show from the nighttime to the late morning, it wasn't well received by everyone. In fact, displacing a well-known national broadcaster like Glenn Beck made me a pariah in certain circles. I was accused of being a communist, the devil, and George Soros' son. But what made this a very easy decision was a desire to have strong, balanced opinions from local hosts who treat callers with respect and tell it like it is. For more than 20 years, Dom Giordano has been telling it like it is, offering an unbiased view on a multitude of local, national, and international subjects, from skinheads to the Middle East. Those who know Dom know he did not take the traditional route to talk show stardom. He was a public school teacher who found himself, like some, consumed by the issues of the day and wanting his voice to be heard on a larger platform. Never afraid of rolling up his sleeves, Dom worked at WWDB in the evening before joining 1210, our radio station, 11 years ago, and now tells it like it is every weekday from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. As a Jew, I find that refreshing. It's no secret that the state of Israel is not always accurately portrayed. Dom's grasp of the issues and common touch has done a great service for the people of Israel, and that's why it's no surprise that tonight we're calling him a bold and brave advocate for our homeland. Making this award even more important is the fact that it's the first time the award has been given to someone outside of the New York area in about 20 years. The award itself is pretty special. I'm a little scared to hold it up. About if I drop it. But anyway. I'm not presenting it, I'm just showing you. Consisting of a round piece of green glass, 2 pieces of Jerusalem stone, and a silver-plated shofar, it is etched with a phrase from Leviticus which essentially states, "Use your shofar to make your proclamations." Ironic that the shofar's modern-day equivalent would be a 50,000-watt radio station heard in 26 states and Canada, and is also home to the Philadelphia Phillies, and to Dom Giordano, WPHT. I actually might run out of here with that. That's nice. My wife would really like that. Dom, you don't need any schmaltzy.
That's okay.
Schmaltzy.
We'll trade something.
Just as ironic is the very next Torah verse is inscribed atop the nation's symbol of freedom, the Liberty Bell, found only a few miles from where we are right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Zionist Organization of America's Ben Hecht Award recipient, WPHT talk show host and friend of Israel, Dom Giordanowitz.
It's our honor and privilege to present this award to Dom Giordano, a friend of Israel, an advocate of Israel, and may you go from strength to strength.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks. I did a little bit of research on the namesake of this award, and I went back, and I'll talk about him in a moment, but I went back to some of the past winners. And I see that A.M. Rosenthal is there, Carolyn Glick. I think Bill Crystal, who I know and met recently. So it's Crystal, Pipes, Rosenthal, Giordano. Now that really has a ring to it, doesn't it, that we finally made it. And I noticed that Howard is even throwing around some Italian mob lingo tonight about consiglieres, which was a nice touch to make us feel at home. This all started, it was kind of a circuitous route. Steve Feldman has been someone I've worked with. He was a master journalist and has just been such a friend to both radio stations. Calls me and starts talking about the award, and we meet at a kosher Chinese place. It was hot out. I don't even remember what summer it was now, this summer or last summer. That's how long these meetings went on. Then there were at least 2 Starbucks that were involved in meetings. So we were running out of fast food / Starbucks place. We had to get to this event, but it really shows the planning, the thought that went into this, and I couldn't be more appreciative. The only thing I've told Steve and others, though, this is a great award, and an award that I accept, but it's not anything that I have to think about, meaning that it's in my DNA to express the type of things that I do on the air, because I wanted to thank a few people. I've thanked Steve enough already. He's gotten tremendous praise, and he deserves it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about talk radio and where it comes from, this support of Israel, and the issues that come up with some callers and some of the wild things that you all hear. And some people think we have a script. Can you imagine writing a script for 3 hours and dealing with that? If you do talk radio long enough, you have to be able to talk. Phones go out, everything goes out, there's floods, there's whatever's happening. You have to be able to talk. There's no script, and you have to deal with a guy who called me today that said if we didn't have unions, you wouldn't be able to get 30 carpenters when you needed them. This is the type of mayhem that goes on, you know, the type of offbeat stuff that you have to deal with. And it's something I've seen with great talk hosts. Some of you grew up with Irv Homer. I've never seen a mind again, and never have seen a mind like that anywhere. The evil one. Dom McQuinn was another. I mean, these are guys that in their own way had genius. It may have been a little bit, it takes a little bit, you have to be a little bit off, genius with a little bit off, to be a great talk radio. That's the missing ingredient. So tonight, I'd like to thank several people, and then I wanted to talk about where this support of Israel comes from, both on a rational level and on a DNA level. I wanted to thank Marshall Perlman, who's one of my sponsors, and here tonight because Marshall has found a home here and has worked with Steve and Howard and others, and that was one of the great things with all those Starbucks meetings. And I was seeing Marshall Perlman suddenly become more and more a part of this. Certainly I have to thank my wife Rosemary, who's here, my sons DJ and Luke, because being married to or the sons of a bloviating talk show, so let's face it, we're bloviators. I told Lou Dobbs that last night, and he couldn't understand it. We're bloviators. We like doing this. You know, we like the controversy. We like talking, and we should admit it. I'd also like to thank my mom and dad, who are right here in the front row. And I'd like to thank all of you tonight, the number of people that came up to me and were grateful for the eulogy I did for Joey Vento and supported Joey Vento and supported what he stood for and saw his struggle with that sign, even if you disagreed with it, to be about something important. He's already missed, and I thank you for supporting him. My mom and dad, in addition to raising me, had the good sense to be headquartered in South Philly. And there's no better place in the world. I mean, I don't think I would have been born, I don't think I would have turned out the same way if I had been born on the main line, for example, or in Nantucket or someplace else. South Philly just helps with some of these issues and some of the things that come up. One of the things you learn growing up in South Philly is friendship and loyalty. Loyalty particularly, something that the current occupant of the Oval Office must have not had in Chicago or Hawaii or wherever it happened. Something that tells you that your ally, the one place in the world, or 2 places, England's another, that surprisingly there's no loyalty toward, that somehow or another you'd rather diss Benjamin Netanyahu than Ahmadinejad. There is something that's off there that I don't know any amount of Harvard degrees, Princeton degrees, that can top what I have, which is a South Philly degree. Also, growing up in South Philly, back to Ahmadinejad, you realize that a guy like Ahmadinejad, you don't talk to, you tell Ahmadinejad what's going to happen if he doesn't cease and desist. You learn reality in South Philly. And one of the things that's cited in the bio tonight about me and the honor is sometimes taking on callers and guests. I've had them all. Ron Paul just recently. Let's say a prayer for him tonight. It's about the best I can do. That don't get it, that don't get this whole issue. And some of them are at best anti-Israel, maybe even anti-Semitic. But maybe more troubling, there's a great number of people out there who are nice people, but again, their world experience, I think, leads them to believe that you can always talk with everyone. There is no such thing as evil. That's a word, evil, that we've lost its way. And I think it results in a guy that we have now in the Oval Office, because I believe with evil, you can't speechify it. You can't do an apology tour with evil. You can't bow to evil. And in fact, what I think we need is a whole lot less Obama and much more Netanyahu in dealing with evil.